Today we're going to be talking about the Conviron Setpoint Program Control. Click the button to start. Introduction. Introduction, how it works. Definitions. Using the Setpoint program. Using the Setpoint schedule. Summary and a short quiz. The Setpoint Program Control is designed to replicate the way Conviron configures Setpoint schedules, also called programs, for chamber operation. The Conviron program essentially is a table of 18 processes, named and numbered control entities, such as temperature target, humidity target, and so on, times 48 common timelines. Each program spans a 24-hour day. This control application is used to facilitate a consistent user experience and data entry when controlling Conviron chambers. The Setpoint program control is used to monitor control points, but also control and program chambers using a collection of user setpoint conditions for a 24-hour period. The Conviron Setpoint program control contains two programs: the Setpoint program, or the Setpoint editor, and the Setpoint program scheduler. The Setpoint program is used to define the setpoints. A Setpoint editor can also be used to edit your programs if you have a lot of data. The Setpoint program scheduler is used to schedule several programs together. You're able to use the Argus Titan platform on Conviron chambers where appropriate, including using an HMI device at the chamber to continue the local interface experience. To understand the Conviron Setpoint program control, we can first look at some important definitions: program, process, timeline, setpoint, schedule, entry, repeat, and ramp rate control. A program is a collection of user setpoint conditions for a 24-hour period. These programs are linked to a schedule. Each schedule can link to 16 programs at a time, while the Titan controller can support hundreds of programs, and these programs can be shared by multiple schedules if required. Depending on the chamber options, the configured processes, and the number of user setpoints in a given day, a program can potentially contain 48 timelines for 18 different processes. You can create new, edit existing, or delete programs. Editing of these programs is only available using the Titan software on the PC, both server and clients. A process is any chamber-controlled parameter or device that requires real-time, clock-based user setpoint input. These setpoint inputs are called scale displays. This screenshot includes some of the typical display scales used in the program. Typical chamber processes would include temperature, humidity, various lighting types, CO2, irrigation, and so on. Up to 18 of these processes can be configured for any given chamber. The timeline is an entry in a program where you can specify a time of day and enter setpoint values for each configured process. The minimum resolution between timelines is 1 minute, and a maximum of 48 timelines can be entered for each program created. A setpoint is defined as a user programmable condition for a given process at a given timeline. Setpoint values can be any value, but the schedule applies limits on the range of the process. For example, if process number 1 is configured for temperature, and the configured design specification for the chamber is 4 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius, you are not able to enter values outside of this range. You can also enter spaces for a given setpoint field, indicating that the process should ignore this timeline altogether. For certain process types such as humidity, CO2, various lighting types, irrigation, misting, and so on, a setpoint of space has a special meaning in that it acts as a way to disable the control entirely. Once you've created between 1 and 16 single-day programs, the schedule is used to define how they're run. The schedule allows up to 8 entries, each containing a program number and a specified number of repeats. This example is the structure of a typical schedule program. An entry is a line in the schedule where you can select from the list of created programs and specify a number of days to repeat. There are a maximum of 8 entries in the schedule. Repeat is the number of times the program at a given entry is repeated before moving on to the next entry in the schedule. This value is settable from 1 to 255 or can also be set to infinite. There's also an overall schedule repeat to specify action at the conclusion of the schedule. Ramp rates are control modes used for different process types to ramp their effective set points towards the final target value at a predefined rate. Currently, we support the following ramp rate modes: step or binary mode, global ramp mode, variable ramp mode, disable ramp mode, and event ramp mode. Step mode or binary mode allows you to directly use the saved program data in establishing the current set point. Global ramp mode allows you to specify a ramp rate per hour. The ramp does not start until the timeline has passed. Variable ramp mode allows you to create a starting timeline with a starting set point and an ending timeline with an ending set point. The ramp is calculated automatically between the points. Note that this differs from the global ramp rate in that it plots a continuous vector between valid target set points. Global executes its ramp using only the maximum increase-decrease rates and then remains at the new setpoint value for the duration of the timeline. Disable mode ignores the program's process setpoint for the current timeline and zeroes the final target value. Event mode is used for on-off devices and controlled equipment based on time. The setpoint represents the desired number of seconds for the device to be turned on. Note that event mode only works for a process using time, seconds, or hours, minutes, seconds, display scaling, using the setpoint program. On the Argus system, it's possible to configure a common pool of programs that can then be referenced simultaneously by different schedules. All programs that are used on a common schedule must have matching processes and display scale types. The entered time values are common to all 18 processes. The first timeline cannot be blank. Other timelines can be set to blank in between active timelines. This provides the ability to insert additional or substitute targets. Blank timelines are skipped. All entered times should be sequential. The program ignores any overlapping times and displays a message indicating the earliest timeline where it encounters an overlap problem. Handling of blank target values. You must enter a valid target value for every used process on timeline 1. You can leave blank targets on subsequent timelines, and the program continues using the last valid target until it encounters a timeline with a new target entry. Processes 1 to 18. Click on the process number menu entries to access the individual listing of each process's set points and user scale units. Enter a name for the process if desired. Select and configure a display scale that will be common for the process. Options. You can use Selective Display and Program Screen to filter the information on the screen. The main screen of the program displays the complete table. Selective Display window. On the Selective Display window, you can reduce the displayed times and processes as required when using fewer items. Use the number of timelines to display and number of processes to display settings to reduce the size of the table. The program ignores the number of timelines to display entry if there are any entered times on lines with higher numbers. Program Screen. Selecting this option displays only the processes and the times without any options visible. Alarms. The alarm screen is used to indicate if there are any overlaps in the set times. Set the alarm priority to be used when this alarm becomes active. First, navigate to the Conviron Setpoint Program screen, where you can start adding your processes. You can also click the green Conviron Setpoint Editor link on this screen to edit program information using a more graphical format. It's up to you which methods you use to complete your programs. See the Conviron Setpoint Editor for more information later on in the video. Select a process in green and select the process type. Click OK. Start adding scaling timelines for this process. You can add up to 48 timelines for each process. Timelines are entered as 24-hour period from 0000 to 2359. Timelines cannot overlap and cannot be zero. Keep adding processes and timelines as required. Keep entering program data, program 1 through 8, until you have all your desired processes and times completed. You can now use those programs in the Conviron Setpoint schedule. Copy and paste can be used to enter many processes and times together rather than one at a time. This is useful when transferring data between programs. On the Tools menu, select Program and then either To File, From File, or To Clipboard. To File sends the current screen information to a file so you can store and import it into another program. From File inserts a file already full of information so you do not have to enter it again manually. To Clipboard copies the screen to a temporary clipboard so you can paste it to another program screen. Setpoint Program Editor. The Setpoint Program Editor allows you to quickly edit and modify your Setpoint programs for users with a lot of entries. The editor is a more graphical visualization of the program screen. Now with the editor, it's possible to insert, delete, or sort all of your programs in one place quickly and efficiently. The editor is split into two main sections: Column Properties and Setpoint Programs. Column Properties contains the following fields: Description and Display Scale. A description gives you a description of each process. Click the text box to change the description as necessary. Display Scale gives you setpoint inputs using any chamber-controlled parameter or device that requires real-time clock-based user setpoint input. Setpoint Programs. To speed up configuration, the on-screen context menu and toolbar buttons are used. Setpoint Actions. There is Setpoint Cell containing the setpoint value for that process at a specific time. You can change the value directly and also copy it to other fields. A context menu opens when you right-click the Setpoint cell and includes the following: copy to other above cells, copy to other below cells. They copy the currently selected value to the other cells either above or below this cell. Corresponding buttons are also listed under the Setpoint Actions drop-down menu. Rrrow Actions. Each row action contains all set points for all 18 processes for a specific time of day. A context menu opens if you right-click on a row number and includes the following jobs: move up, move down, insert above, delete, and copy to new. These corresponding row actions are also listed under the Rrrow Actions drop-down menu. Time actions. The time fields contain the hour and minute values for the set points in a row. You can change the value directly and also copy it to other fields. A context menu opens if you right-click a time cell and includes the following jobs: copy to below cells, copy to above cells. Using the Schedule Manager. This program is used to schedule and manage up to 8, out of a possible list of 16, single-day programs. Each of the 8 active program entries from the List of Assigned Programs section contains a program number that references a specific program and a specified number of days, or repeats, to be run before advancing to the next entry in the schedule. The schedule does not contain any native set points, other than upper and lower safety limits and ramp rate settings. All of the set point values needed to operate the schedule are obtained from linked programs. The schedule uses a numbering system to reference each linked program. Programs can be sequenced in any order, and they can be repeated in an event sequence. When the schedule is using the program, the process number in the schedule corresponds to the same process number in the program. The schedule can be enabled and disabled, started, paused, or stopped. It can also be overridden using values from a specific entry line and day. Default startup values can be configured for set point ramping and equipment operation at startup. The Setpoint scheduler has 4 basic areas you need to go through to start your schedule: list of assigned Conviron programs, Conviron program management, process numbers and set points, and schedule control. Once these are complete, your schedule is running and data is being collected. List of assigned programs. Link up to 16 completed programs that you have configured with data so they can be linked with the scheduler. In this section of the screen, each program name is listed. If it's linked, valid pointer, and a link to the actual program. If you want to change any of the program data, click the green link to open the program again and change it. Each of these can be input into the Program Management section under Entry to use it on the schedule. Program Management. Next, you manage programs and how they're going to be executed in the schedule. Select an entry number and add a program number to it. These entries are run in order and execute according to the criteria you've set up in each program previously. These components are used to configure the program order and the duration of the schedule. Entry, program number, repeat days, days done, selected program, schedule repeats, scheduled day on, number of scheduled days per pass, number of scheduled days total. Process numbers and set points. In this section, you set the ramp modes for each process. The following values control how the process set points from the programs are managed and displayed: modes, scale, lower and upper limit, desired set point, increase and decrease rate per hour, actual set point, event, startup values. Schedule control. This section controls the schedule and how it runs. It includes starting, stopping, pausing the schedule, and allows you to override the current schedule with specific values. State, pause, override using set values. Summary. The topics we've covered today include introduction, how it works, definitions, using the Setpoint program, using the Setpoint schedule, summary, and a short quiz. Next is a short quiz on the concepts you've learned today. Thanks for watching the video. For more information, contact Argus Support. Click any of the links for more information.